Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello, welcome back to another exciting edition of Bars to Bricks Ministries with your favorite villain, the Rev Dr Kev. How is everybody doing this blessed evening? We got some comments here. Hey, Richard, respect. Yes, Judy is with Nate. Okay, let's see. Let me try to send Nate another message here, another link. I think he said he was having problems with that. We're not going to do it that way. Bear with the technical difficulties here. Hi, Judy. We're getting some technical difficulties here trying to get Nate on. Let me see. Oh, it was where I wanted. Mark, I'm sending you another link to see if we can get him on here. Try that one. We'll try this link here and see if we can get her working. This has been a long, I guess, a long-standing subject in not only America but all over the world. But in a country where we're supposed to be so free, there is so much. He can see you. He sees the microphone. I don't see him. Let me see. Mark probably beat him with his host. Yeah, I don't know why it's not. I don't see him at all. Mark, have him back out and try to come back on. Hit the link again and try it. Maybe that. I just sent you another link too. I don't, because I'm not. He's not popping up on my screen at all. You gotta love technology sometimes. This is a new streaming service I haven't really used, and so there's always with something new. There's always bugs, of course. This should be broadcasting on YouTube and on Facebook. So we will hope. I don't see on Facebook. I got it up here on the other screen and I don't. Maybe if I go to me. Oh, actually, I think we were streaming on the page. That's why I'm not seeing it. Okay, so Mark just forwarded a link, so Well, I don't know. Maybe it's not. I guess it is. This is live now. Hit that like button, please, guys. Like, share. If you're not subscribed, please do so. And we are on Facebook. Awesome.
Trying to get the microphone working in that app,
Oh,
and I'm not familiar with that app, so we're having a problem with this mic.
okay. The settings are the same on the audio. If you go settings and audio, it should have your audio input, output, and all that. So, well, darn it. We may have to. He can try it on his phone too. He might be able to go through the phone, and it might be easier. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties. We may end up. Um, I may have to just go over to um, StreamYard and fire this back up. If I do that, unfortunately, Facebook viewers, um, you're not going to be able to see because I can't stream on both with the other program. Hopefully, we can get her worked out, though. I kind of like this. It's kind of cool. That like, when I come in a room, it's just you always got the. It's kind of a habit. People just do this. I mean, not really, but it sounded good. Let's see what.
It's telling him to click on the microphone at the bottom of the screen, but he's not in the broadcast, so it's showing it like a YouTube window.
Okay, so what we're going to do is going to have to. I'm going to go ahead and end here for a second, and I will be right back up. Actually, let me just. While we're going here, I'm going to get set up. Like I said, sorry, Facebook guys. If you're watching on Facebook, I apologize. You can catch this broadcast on YouTube, so I will have to back out of this program and go with StreamYard. Let me get that set up though. What we're doing. Oh, never mind. Hold on. There we got Nate Dogg now. Look at that. Just as we was getting ready to give up. What's up, Nate?
What's up? You see me? You hear me?
See you and hear you. See you and hear you. There we go. Man, the gotta love technical difficulties sometimes. The camera seems to be all jacked up too. How you doing this evening? How you doing this evening, Nate?
Technology.
Oh, I know. Okay,
I'm in. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me? All right.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. How you doing tonight?
Doing all right.
You feeling better than you was?
Yes, a lot better.
Well, that's good. That's good. But, fellow ticker trouble person here, so I can identify with that one. But
I've
so
been dealing with it for 6 years now. I'm kind of used to it.
yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, it does kind of. It just becomes routine.
Oh yeah.
Mark said that he's having problems with the volume and he's on the phone. Yeah, technology is awesome sometimes. Oh, lost Nate for a second. There we go. But so I want to. It seems to be a long-standing issue with racism, and as you, I'm sure, well know, um, and there's also as to a lot of debate what's racist and what's not. So I'd kind of like to go back and forth on a few things and kind of just share each other's opinion. So first thing I want to ask is, so tell me a little bit about, I guess, where you grew up. Because I know where you grew up, so the kind of a racist area and all that. Maybe some of your experiences with racism growing up. Uh, I don't have no audio. I can't hear you, Nate.
Okay.
Oh, there we are.
Got it. Got it.
Yep.
Okay. I fixed it. I fixed it. Yeah. I said I was. My aunts and uncles were born there too, and really throughout my childhood, really, I just hung out with my family. I really didn't hang out with too many people, except when I was in school. Hung out with kids at school. So basically, I knew life. I knew life with my family, and my family was wonderful. My family was absolutely wonderful, and I thank them every day for the way they raised me.
That's awesome. So, I mean, I know the St. Louis area has been noted, especially Ferguson and all that. Albeit the whole situation is a little muddled with that officer and the circumstances between that altercation, but nonetheless, even um, that incident set aside, they did find a lot of profiling and racism and stuff in that area. So, I mean, what is it like being? I mean, do you find it bad in some areas out there, the profiling and stuff, especially law enforcement and people?
Yeah, it's been bad. I mean, I grew up dealing with it with the cops and everything like that. But actually, the cops they weren't bad towards me because I wasn't really a bad kid most of the time. But when I did screw up, they did get in my butt though, and corrected me and stuff. But I really never felt any racism from the cops because we were my family was raised there and we're from there. My grandfather knew a lot of people, so we didn't really experience racism from the cops.
So now, Mark provided a good point. He said at one time he had actually researched it, that even the police violence on minorities, there is actually a higher number of against other minority officers with the violence and not the white officers. And it's so, that being said, have you ever had an incident where like you was profiled by even another person of the same color? I mean, is that, I mean, I've seen it. You see it even oh, I don't remember, his Boys in the Hood or Menace to Society, when they pull him over and everything. There's a black cop there involved too, and be just as guilty. And it it just kind of, I don't know. I just kind of wonder, have you experienced that from your own race even?
Well, in Belleville, there's mostly been white cops. Just recently, in the past 10 years, they have black cops on the force now. So nowadays, I experienced nothing like that. But I don't know if it's happening now because I've never experienced it.
Right. Now I gotta. So now it was something. Oh, I don't know. A few months back now. there was a deal going around, a big push on TikTok and all that too, and a lot of the social media platforms that basically a white person can't be experience racism. Do you think that's true? I mean, how do you feel about that?
Well, yeah, it goes both ways. It goes both ways. I mean, black folks can be racist against white people. White people can, be racist against black people. But the way I was born and I was raised, we didn't call it racism. We call it prejudice.
Right, right.
So let me explain something about how I was raised. My grandmother,
Mm-hmm.
she was from St. Louis, and she was a school teacher. So she demanded that her kids spoke proper English and they were well educated. And everybody used to assume that since I speak the way I speak, that I was born and raised around white people. No, it was my grandmother who taught us how to speak.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, just so when I was locked up, I have a one of my best friends, Ormond Wimberly. He's in his 70s, very very educated, like myself. He has some doctorates and stuff, and but everybody, it was funny. They always all the black guys accused him of wanting to be white because he spoke properly and all that. Uncle Tom and all sorts of everything else they called him, but and then the white guys would say he's racist. So
I've experienced both ends of that before.
it's
It's pretty silly myself, I think.
well, and I don't understand. It's like there are so many educated people of all races. I don't know why proper speech and etiquette has to be based on race. I have never understood that. I have seen some white kids that talk more ghetto and everything than you know. I- I've got some of my kids that I half the time.
Well, that's when ignorance is taking over right there.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you can't explain it any better than that.
Well, and exactly, and it's like I and now I've got kids and stuff and grandkids, teenagers, and the so they toss that N word around all the time, and it's a term of endearment, this and that, it's all that, and there's a lot of people that don't see it that way, and that's now. With that being said, growing up, Donnell, well, still to this day, is one of my really good friends. We don't talk as much. He's can't hear very well, and he lives in Wichita, so it's kind of hard to talk to him on the phone when he can't hear you, and and he's 3 hours away from me. But um, we would joke, and we have many times we almost got into fights, and at the time, as a kid, it was funny because he was black, and we'd throw racist terms back and forth when we were shooting pool or bowling or whatever, and just as a joke, laughing. And a lot of people, got really upset over that. And looking back, I can see where it would be offensive to people. And but I also seen Donnell's take on it, where he's like, I refuse to let that word control me and define me. He said, if you look that up in the dictionary, it's a dirty person. He said, I showered today. So, and so it just, I don't know. So, what are your feelings on that term just being so loosely thrown around nowadays, I guess?
You know what the original definition of the word nigger is a black slave. That is
Right.
the original definition. I don't know why and how it has changed so much throughout the decades. It's ridiculous. It's like you use as a form of as a disgrace, and then it's being changed to suit the lifestyles of people at the time. It's ridiculous. I will never understand it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, me either. And it just, I, it's gotten bad, everywhere. Wichita used to be, um, when I was growing up, there wasn't a lot of racial tension between white and black. and there really still isn't in the Wichita area. There you have your people, your spots here and there, of course, as you do anywhere. But I mean, as a majority, it's usually not between um, white and black. It's usually the Asians or the Mexicans or something. And but I mean, it's still bad racism, and especially with the Asian population in Wichita, because that was a military community. Also, a lot of Vietnamese immigrants come in after the Vietnam War, and so you can imagine they weren't treated the best.
Yeah.
And but it's sad, and I've never understood people as a whole being held for the mistakes of a few or of the past. I didn't have anything to do with my ancestors and everybody else's ancestors, as neither did you. And I don't understand. Now, here's where, well, actually, let me touch this first. So again, here we go on the people so quick. Now, on the other side of racism, you have actual racism, and then you have the extremes where people are so quick to point out that something's racist. So, are you familiar with that
Yeah,
song?
because they want attention. They want attention. They want to bring attention to something. So they throw that out there.
Yeah, and it's
Noise me.
well. Are you familiar with that Jason Aldean song? Try that in a small town.
No, no. I know some of the song. I don't think I know that one.
Well, it's a newer song that come out, and all he's saying is basically in the small town, all that robbing and stealing and ripping people off and raping and all that. Try it in a small town and see what happens.
Yeah,
There's
yeah, exactly.
nothing about any color in there, and everybody's like, "Well, it's racist." This, in fact, Whoopi Goldberg is being sued, and I guess she's being taken off the View and everything over the whole ordeal.
Uh,
Um, but because there's nothing, I mean, that's true. There's nothing racist about that. I don't care if you can go to. There's a town here in Kansas. It's not far from me. It's up by Kansas. I can't think of the name of it, but it's an all black community in a small town. Go try something there. Go try something in any small town. All he's saying is basically small town people are close. People are gonna
yeah. It's a
stand
friend.
up.
It's a
It's
friend.
not
Yeah,
right. Yeah, yeah. They know that neighbor you're messing with, or that someone you're. So they're more likely to stand up, and it's. And I don't understand how people cannot turn racist. And I guess you're right. It's an attention thing, and because I listened to the song objectively, and that and he don't speak any hate. He don't. There's nothing even mentions race, and it just yeah, I agree with that, JLM. But it I lost my train of thought. There I go reading comments. But
how you got me doing?
yeah, I always ADHD squirrel. But
Where?
I watched a lot of reaction videos, and a lot of them were quick clickbait. They had a person of color, and this is so racist. I'm outraged. And then you click on it, and there's nothing racist about this at all. And but I mean that's because it wasn't. But also Adam Calhoun and Tom McDonald, they've been called racist. And I don't know if you're familiar who they are. Um, to me, there is a difference between pride and power or separatism or whatever. There's nothing wrong of being proud of your heritage, proud of your ethnical background or whatever.
That's what
But
makes us all different. That's what makes us all different and unique.
absolutely, and we should respect those differences and not, um, not just attack each other and all that and try to pick on. And I know a lot of it seems to be the social norm too. Everybody wants to talk bad about everybody else. Everybody wants to bring that other person down, so maybe it makes
Exactly.
them
Exactly.
feel a little bit higher. I don't
I
know,
see it.
but
I see it every single day, and it drives me nuts. It's just bad. It's bad. It's getting worse.
yeah, I mean, if we spent half the time helping somebody that we spend talking crap about them, the world would be, man. There shouldn't be anybody in need. I mean, especially it, especially in today's world.
Yeah.
But
I have a saying that I like saying. If one person would help one person every single day, we would want for nothing.
that's right. I like
Everybody
that.
would be taken care of. Everybody would be taken care of. It's that simple. It's that simple.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like it. It is. It's that simple. And well, even as far as in your day to day interactions with people, there's no reason to treat people like crap at random or whatever because you're having a bad day, and um, you don't know what someone else's day. They might be having a worse day than you and just be on the edge, and whatever you say just might tip them over, or
Um,
whatever you say might bring them back and save their life.
my definition of racism is like it's hate over something that's different from you.
Yep.
You think about it. It's almost exactly what it is. I mean, if it's different from you and you don't like it,
Yep.
there you go. There it begins. And you know how I avoid racism every day in my life. I don't talk about it.
And that's exactly what I've. Man, Nate, we are so alike. I have
Um,
said that so many times. We keep fighting racism with racism, and until
oh,
everything stops
that is the
being
truth. That's the truth.
until everything stops being racist, we will never get over it.
Ah,
And,
there's one
and
race. There's only one race.
right, the
What
human
are we
race.
fighting for?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
exactly right. And it's crazy, and it just it amazes me how many people just don't get it, and but like I said, they want to fight because something's different or whatever. And but I don't. To me, I think even, and I don't take this offensively in any way because I'm not meaning it that way, but I think even like the town that's all black, be like a town that's, and I don't know that you can't move there as another race. Um, But like you have colleges that are like black colleges or whatever. You can't. To me, that's racist. If you don't allow other people, why are we excluding anybody and separating anybody? Let's. I mean, there was all this fight to be included in every, and now it's like, why? I mean, to me, that's it. Don't make sense to me. It's still racism.
Yeah, but there are a lot of black colleges that have white folks at them though. There are a lot of them,
Well,
that,
and there are, and I
they're integrating and stuff now too, which more
right,
should.
and yeah, and I don't, and it's just like, and it's the um the college fund, the Negro College Fund. That's a wonderful program, but man, let's have it. There's underprivileged in every race, and it's like, I think it was me and Mark were talking. What's sad is there shouldn't be nothing wrong with having a fund for every race, because this white privilege, I've never gotten it. I don't know. I guess it never hit my bank account. It never hit my lawyer's desk. It never got it, the judge never got the information. But
Don't they sell that at Costco or something?
I guess so. Maybe I guess I missed that aisle. But it just, I don't. And to me, when Judy puts a good point up too, that the government needs to step back and quit trying to stir up the crowd.
but
And
but they won't. That's what they do. That's their purpose of doing it. To keep us separated.
well, and that's what's amazing. And it was just on, um never hit mine either, Kevin. The but There I go with the comments again. I get stuck. But I got you got the marks that never read the comments, and then me that can't let them go. But
Yeah, I just see my name. They got squirrel.
yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, I always want to make people feel included and stuff too, and I don't want to, I don't want people to feel left out. And but there's always seems to be, um, I don't know, man. People just want to anymore just divide and bitch and complain about everything and come up with these weird ass solutions. And albeit there was some areas that needed some work. Ferguson, they uncovered a bunch of that stuff. That even though like that whole, like I said, that incident, I don't agree with the whole incident on that cop. That cop, that poor guy. That that dude was a thug. He wasn't no just some
Oh
guy
yeah.
walking down the road.
No,
Mind.
I seen the facts. I seen the police report. I see what happened. Like you said, he was a thug. He was
Yeah.
committing a crime. He was trying to hurt a cop. Cop had no
Well,
choice.
and what's crazy is all these supposed eyewitnesses that lied and said that they shot him execution style, shot him in the back. Well, ballistics proved that officer's statement. Not one of them got charged for that. They ruined that officer's life. He had to move and all that for doing his job, and it was just it's sad, and that's coming from a ex-con.
Yeah,
We don't side with the police a whole lot.
let me tell you this story. When I was growing up, being a kid and a teenager in Belleville, I was accused of doing a lot of things. People could get the heat off of them by accusing it, by blaming it on me and stuff. And
Yep,
I'd have to fight the system to prove my innocence and stuff. And
yep.
that was horrible. It would come at any moment. You had to watch your back for that shit. It's crazy. I've almost gotten some serious trouble because of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's and what's sad, Nate, is well, we find circumstances of that. It's not just race. Sometimes it's a social class thing, and you get wrapped up in the middle. I don't know how much you followed that case. I've been working with Gary Wayne Sutton. Um, that man's not guilty. He was set up, and the cops are involved in that.
Oh
There
yeah,
was
oh yeah.
there was evidence
I've seen
planted.
that done. I've seen that done many times too, and just in my area, I've seen that done.
Oh, Nate, I don't know if Mark showed you the picture or not of these shotgun shells that mysteriously showed up 3 days after the body was found, mere inches from where the body was found. That they weren't there 3 days prior, but
Yeah,
they're sitting together next to each other, side by side, perfectly lined up. When have you ever seen two 12 gauge shotgun shells be shot out and land side by side after you eject them?
you never do. But hey,
No.
that's the evidence, and it's gonna stick too. It's gonna stick,
Yeah, and
or did it stick?
yeah, and it's well, he's had piss poor legal sense, and that don't help at all either. But and Judy, that's right, and that's exactly what the problem is, and that's the government. Don't matter what political party, they don't want us coming together. We seem to forget Abraham Lincoln, a couple hundred years ago, said, "A nation divided will fall,"
Yeah,
and it just Yep, I like that, Mark. Yeah, I've seen that too. The not focus on the slave master when you're attacking each other. What red and black ants in a jar, they get along until you shake the jar up, and then they kill each other. The jar shaker is the problem. Yeah, that's a great analogy, Mark. I mean, it's this it. And what's sad is some of these people that these stars and stuff that really jump on, like the Whoopi Goldberg, and it it's crazy now. Oh man, who's that rapper? My son Josh's a big fan of him. Little Wayne. Little Wayne says there's no racism. He's never experienced racism.
I
And
wonder who paid him to say that.
I don't know. I can't imagine no matter what your race is, you hit your 30s and not experienced any sort of racism
No
unless
matter
you're just
no matter
blind.
what your social class, no matter what your social class is, either, it
Right.
doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah. It don't matter gay, straight, white, black, purple, poor, rich. You're going to experience some sort of racism. And a lot of that Ferguson is not even from Missouri. It's from different states that people were coming from. Yeah, that whole Ferguson deal was a mess. Man, it turned out there was not only racism, a lot of sexism and stuff like that too. That weren't women being advanced in positions and paid less than their male counterpart. It was a lot of, I mean, that area, that unfortunate incident that happened, but it definitely was something that needed to happen for Ferguson area. It looks like, and hopefully
You
it's
know
a better.
that whole Ferguson incident. You know what? That didn't affect me one bit. It did not change me one bit. I didn't even want to follow it. So it was all ridiculous and it was nonsense. It was all bullshit. Every bit of it.
Yeah, and that's and in fact, what's funny, I don't know why I just now thought of this, but I was talking about Wichita and how it's never been like a black and white divided really. It I mean there's areas, obviously there's some white areas that, I mean, you have different kinds of issues. There's your black guy and some of these rich white help. You're a white guy like me, look like me, you're going to get messed with by the police too. But you get profiled. But there's some spots in the hood that a lot of people won't go at night. Now, I walked around everywhere in Wichita. Never, I lived in the hood for a while. Never had an issue.
You know,
Um,
it's like Belleville is right next to East St. Louis. It's right next to East. I have white friends, man, that hang out down there all the time. They go
yeah,
down there all the time and
man,
have no problem and stuff.
man, my buddy Donnell, his grandma lived in North Wichita, 25th and Estelle, and which is it's one of them areas you really don't go at night, especially if you're white. I I was starting to get dark. We were the family event there. I've always been part of the family, and one of his brothers that never really kind of cared. He was kind of a racist. He didn't like the Peckerwood in their midst, being accepted as family and this and that. And well, they but he he just but anyways, like, don't you think you ought to go? It's about to get dark. Man, I'm not worried about it.
I've been told that same thing up here in Belleville when I was younger. It's about to go. You don't think you should go home? I'm like, no, I don't want to go home. You can't make me go home. Leave me alone.
Yeah, but I mean, so I got released. Um, when I got released a couple years ago, I went back to Wichita, and there was the um, in 2020, there at the beginning of 2020, there COVID, and then the Black Lives Matter marches and stuff like that.
That was
I
ridiculous
think
too.
I think Wichita was unique because there was some Black Lives Matter signs, but all most of the signs said all lives matter, and there was white and blacks, and you even had some Mexicans and stuff in there, and Asian stuff too. But you had the police department was in them marches and stuff with the people.
You know
You
what?
know,
If you think about it, and instead of calling it Black Lives Matter, if they would have called it All Lives Matter to begin
right?
with, oh,
But
it'd have been a whole different movement.
that's racist, Nate. I was told that's racist when I said that. It's
Oh,
like, how the hell is that? Everybody's life matters. No life is any more important than any other, no matter what your race, your social status, whatever. It's a life is a life. We're all children of God, and it just it was different. But man, it just I don't get it. I've never
you can't,
understood.
you can't, you can't make sense of it, can you? I shake my head every day. Every day I
No,
shake my head. I'm like,
you know, and I did fall in for a time with I got in prison and everything, and I fell into that period of a time that I
you,
was
you
raped
had no choice.
and
You
this
had
and
no
that.
choice.
And looking back, and I guess maybe as I got older, smarter, and all that, I looked around. I'm like, you know what? Most of these idiots I deal with and have want to fight are white. It had nothing to do with.
Those damn Peckerwoods.
Yeah, it's like grown damn people are half the problem. It's like, I mean, it's so. and then
Oh, man.
I still had the issue with the mixed marriages and stuff, and my daughter got with it, and I didn't. Now, in her defense, I didn't like him at first because he was black before I met him. After I met him, it wasn't because he was black; it's because he's an abusive piece of shit idiot. It has nothing to do with his color. I
Yes,
got
that's totally different right there.
I got past the whole race thing because I have a couple nieces. That's all they date is black guys, and my niece Lexi, her husband Tony, that dude is that's guy, man. Dude is cool as hell, and he treats her like a princess. You
Yeah.
know, they don't have anything to do with color, and it's she even tried to tell my daughter, it's like, no, it don't have nothing to do with Dez is black. It's just Dez is an idiot, and your dad don't want to go back to jail. You know, and
Yeah. Yeah, it is have no color. Not at
yeah,
all.
well, yeah, and it was like, man, and well, and I guess, and what's crazy is, and maybe it's different in other states, and um, I know, in fact, it is in some other states like Kansas. It's not really racially divided in our prison systems. You know, you have certain prisons they'll have their tables and stuff, but it's really not a big deal, even if there's a sections now. Now I will say, as a white guy, you can go sit in the black section and most of the time not get any flack, depending on what prison. Lansing, it's a little bit different, but me being me, I just sat down anyway. Uh, but um, it still was most of the time people were you'd see people race. Now a black guy couldn't go sit like the Ossatru's table or something like that, but
Yeah,
now
yeah. Been there,
society,
done that.
we had black guys sitting at the society table. Everybody thought we were a racist group, white society. You're like, no, it's not about racism at all. It's about,
You would call it racist because you had a black man sitting at your table. What sense does that make? That makes no
well,
fucking sense at all.
well, we were called racist because the group was white society, and it was originally, when people go into prison, the essays, whether they were affiliated or not, unless they had a bad case, people looked out for them. When they come in, they had a bowl, they had a cup, they had some coffee, maybe a soup, a little bit of comforts. Same thing with a lot of black guys. Most black guys, and again, this people will say this is racist, but it's true. It's statistics. 95% of the black population that goes into the penitentiary is gang affiliated in
Yeah,
some way or another.
it is
They're
a
associated.
fact. It is a fact.
If they're not on count, they're affiliated. And so you got their people that look out for them, and the Muslims for sure look out tough for those people. But the white guys coming in, there wasn't that deal unless they were that just cool macho idiot a lot of times. But um, and so we started kind of looking out for our own people, and I don't agree with picking on somebody that can't fight for themselves. I don't care what they did.
I I can't stand that. I have stood up
You
for
know,
people like that all my life. All
I
my life.
always it was not a popular opinion in prison. I got in a few fights over this because this is exactly how I tell people. If you going in extorting somebody, if you go in and take something from somebody that's a punk or a bitch, well, you're a punk or a bitch. I mean,
Yeah.
come take something from my house. You know, that
Come to my small town, right?
yeah, yeah, that's right. Come to my small town. Try that in my small town. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I mean, it just I've never, I don't know, but it and in fact, at one of my sermons, I had commented about there was an older black gentleman that in the county jail, and when I was facing all that time, I was looking at like 60 something years, and this dude come up, and I knew his nephew. I went to school with his nephew, and I didn't know him very well, but anyway, he came up to me, and he was very Pentecostal, very fire and brimstone, like 10:30 till like 11:30 every night. He was directly below me in his cell. He would be screaming at the top of his lungs, thank you Jesus," pounding on the wall, on the door, drove me up. a wall. I was like, yeah, you're gonna thank Jesus in a minute. You're gonna see him. Anyway, he,
Nate, our Kevin around here, it's Black Baby Jesus.
Yes.
oh yeah, he
It's the truth too. We say it every day all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like, why is Jesus white in all the churches? I mean, he was at least dark brown.
right. He was at least olive skinned. He was in the Middle East, for God's sake.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
but
Sweet baby black Jesus.
Hey, Kevin, you'll like this. There was a bunch of people talking about Jesus or Christianity is a European religion. It's the white man's religion. And there was a black college student there that stepped up and said, no, it isn't. Christianity was in the Middle East and Africa before it ever was in Europe. It wasn't created by white people. It existed before that.
Who is that guy?
yeah.
Sir talks a lot.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch
Oh,
old Mark, and man, I missed a whole bunch of out of Lansing, Michigan. Surprised all the board up houses. Oh, Detroit went bankrupt. That's the whole damn city. I mean, filed for bankruptcy.
On that about that,
That's insane.
man.
How the hell's a big ass city like that, the auto center of the world, go bankrupt? That's some poor management. That's what that is.
and let me tell you another story about when I was growing up, and I tell you what, I love the party. I love the party. Okay, growing up like in high school and middle of high school, a lot of my friends, we have a lot of small towns around here, right? All right, we go out partying. They take me to a small town country bar. They want to see some friends, they want to see a band. Because I'm going in, I'm nervous at first. I'm nervous. I'm going and I'm watching myself, and when I start drinking, I just act like I would be myself. And by the time I leave that bar and shit, I got everybody laughing. Everybody's my best friend. It's like every bar I ever go into, it starts out like that and it ends the same way. The same way. I love it.
Well, I used to. That's what's crazy is the first time I lived in a small town. I went from Wichita to Marion, Kansas, like 3,000 people. Still way bigger than what I am now, but um, for whatever reason, I was like a everywhere I went, people just loved me. And when I moved there, you don't lock your house, so there's small town people. It was nothing to come home and have 6, 7, 8 people there, somebody cooking dinner for us and everything
Yeah,
else. When I come
yeah,
home
yeah.
from work, it was crazy. And every party, it was just I had to be at. Everybody wanted me there, and it was cool as hell. And
Well, you too, huh? I was the same way. Everybody wanted me at the party and something. Oh,
even this, even the town I live in now, this is like the Hatfield and McCoys, like the whole town. It's just everybody hates each other and talks bad about each other, and it's just horrible. And it's like 106 people, and but I can walk through town, everybody will wave, everybody will smile, come out, talk, and there's very few people that go through this town like that, and it's kind of it's nice, I guess, but I'm the same way. I've always got along with everybody. Either I get along with you or I don't. And it's got nothing to do with the exterior. It's your character and how you character is going to determine whether I fuck with you or not. You know, um, like I said, man. Shit. Going back to the talk about race. I'll tell you, Nate. Here was one of the biggest factors that made me realize I was an idiot for being racist. So here I am, and I'm already kind of my ways are changed, but I still got them. I'll pop off with the N word, walking through the gym like dumb, like still not really thinking of what I'm saying and all that. Um, I had green light, had a hit put out on me when I was in El Dorado.
wow.
Guess what? It was by a white man.
Wow.
Yeah, all these white dudes trying to take me out. Like man,
You
yeah.
fucked up, didn't you?
Yeah. What's crazy is the master splinter rat. Uh, his, that fucking cocksucker's name was Freedom. It's like, yeah,
Oh, go figure, huh?
telling on every motherfucker trying to get their freedom. But man, it just oh, but anyway, back to my Mr. Hubbard. So one morning I'm at breakfast and everything, and I stayed up, and Mr. Hubbard come out. He sat down and he said, "You know, Kevin, God told me to tell you He put you here to save your life." I called him some things that just was not appropriate. I wish I could go back and apologize because he was right for a couple. For one, I wasn't trying to hear nothing about God or I was doing bad or whatever, But he was right, and yeah, I called him. Man, I don't know how I didn't get in a fight that day, but that's how people liked me. I There was a one guy in our pod was crazy because this is the time. Like I said, I'm going through my racist stage. There's this mixed black guy in there that hates white people, but his dad was white, and he been had to do with dad or whatever. Um, but we got along great.
I hate my daddy, but you're cool.
We're supposed to hate. We got along the best in that pod.
Oh,
Don't make
some
no
people,
sense, but
no, not at all.
that dude was an idiot, though. Man, he. Some people don't have no sense. So when you're trying to help people and all this and that, I will when it comes to racism and stuff. I will bow out. It's the guy in Oklahoma on death row. The man probably going to be in it. He probably is innocent. I'm not going to do a whole lot of speaking for him because all I heard during that call was the white man, the white man, the white man, the white man. Is a Mexican guy, but still, it's like, and all of this whole team. I'm looking at this whole team on this deal, this news conference. Like, all these people are white helping you, right? And but he's constantly like, I'm not going to be a part of that. I don't. I guess you don't need this white man's help. Then it's, I just man, I'm just gonna. We're just
Tell
gonna.
him to do that. Mark's over here cutting up again.
He's over here.
What I do.
Oh
There's
yeah,
like a million comments. I got. It's all marked.
me and Mark will be out. We'll be out in public somewhere, like at a store or something, and Mark will walk. Where the white women at? I'm like, man, why do you do that all the time?
Oh, it's not a good idea to take me into public. A lot of times, I'm not speakerphone material unless it's like business. At business, you're cool, but if I'm calling on personal, like, no, don't put me on speakerphone if there's sensitive ears around because I am not speakerphone material.
Well, you know
Uh,
about those sensitive people.
yeah. Oh man, they're all over. But but yeah, mm. And I'm not. I'll act a fool in the store just to
I
laugh
will
and
too. I will
kind of,
too. You should see
oh
me and Mark in the store. We act like idiots in the store. We won't
man,
care.
a couple years ago, I had custody of my 2-year-old grandson, and me and Eric had went to Walmart in Iowa to get. He needed some pull ups and stuff, and we're in the baby. I'm grabbing he liked the Paw Patrol ones and stuff, and so I'm getting him the Paw Patrol. And Eric's like, "Man, when are you gonna stop wearing them kids?" Pull ups, man. Why don't you get the adult ones that actually fit you better? I'm like, no, man, because I like the puppies on there. They're really cool. Just as straight as can be, just quick snap back. And this woman just, you know, her jaw dropped. I know she thought we were serious. And, but, or, it's about a month or so ago, my sister in law wanted to kill me. We was in Walmart and we was outside, and she said something, called me retard, told me to stop being retarded or something. So I got real loud. And Mama said to quit calling me retarded. And oh my God,
I seen that. I seen that coming.
oh, she lost her stuff, man. Of course, that was about. I think that my best one, especially my biological mom, we don't get along really anyway. But there's no love lost on either side, I don't think. But they years ago when we got along, we were in Walmart when checks were still a thing. Actually, now people don't even write checks, but she's writing a check, and I'm like, we're at the checkout. I said, "You're still using that woman's checkbook?" And of course, the clerks all looking, and she's like, I'm going to have to see your driver's license, ma'am." And I'm like, "And you got her ID? You still got that fake ID?" And they called the manager over the car. She was so mad. She was so mad. That was hilarious, though.
I do stuff like that too. I can't help it. I gotta laugh. I gotta laugh, man. I spend most of my life laughing. For real.
Well, I mean, yeah, I try not to be serious most of the time. You know, and Nate, boyfriend, brother since 1983.
1983 is when we met.
Yeah. I've known him that long.
Yeah, I was like 9. I don't get to say that very often, but
We were what, sophomores? Sophomores in high school.
You know. Hey, am I allowed to drink beer in your show?
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I've been hiding it.
All the bars have straws.
Yeah,
Yes, a straw with all it.
I haven't gotten dinged yet. I'm surprised. YouTube's weird on their monetization. The lives with Mark are all monetized, and it's like how smoking, drinking. I think I haven't smoked weed in a couple of. But it's like, man, it's silver one like an antenna. Judy, you two are awesome. Thank you, Judy.
They keep straws for bars.
Corruption, bad policies, letting things go way bad. That's man. That's like everywhere. It's our society is in such a mess. Uh, it's crazy.
State's fault.
Yeah, not my fault. Yeah, it's like our society is in social collapse for real.
Yeah,
That's what's the fucking political aspect of it.
it just seems to be well, and that's what I've said too. It's like on these political campaigns, you don't hear when we were kids. When someone was running for, it didn't matter, it was a mayor, a governor, a senator position, president, whatever, they would talk about what they could do for you, how they could help the state, the city, the country, whatever. Now it's not even like that.
It's what so and so. It's what so and so did wrong and stuff.
Yep, it's all about it's a mudslinging, and it's not. It's I don't give a shit what this guy did. Tell me what you can do, how you can do it better. You know, it's. But thank you, Carolyn. We're glad to know you as well. We're not born in a bakery, no sugarcoating. Give it straight out. That's how you got to do it. But yeah, it. I don't know, man. It just seems. I think Blazing Saddles would not be made. Oh man, look at some of the. I was looking at some old.
That's a funny movie. I love that movie, Blazing Saddles. It's
Yeah,
hilarious. It's hilarious.
yeah. And I don't know. It might go through today. I think one of the most offensive movies, and I know it's of that time, but it was offensive to me. Was that the Django Unchained? I couldn't even get through the whole thing.
Yeah, I thought that was a little rough.
Yeah, I was like, man, I couldn't. I'd be furious if and I know it's history, and that's at the same time.
Property.
Well, yeah, and it's like the history, man, that needs to be taught. If we don't, history, if it is not learned from, it will repeat itself. And if you bury it's already starting to
Yeah,
somewhat repeat itself in a lot of ways. And
that's my son's favorite part.
I guess he
It's
catches more of the.
a show.
I could imagine too. I bet Judy is a hellfire and brimstone.
Clint Dickens in that hardcore man, machine line legends of comedy.
Pulled the 2-man cart out of the mud before.
It's talking about Blazing Saddles.
Yeah. 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 Judy, I don't know. Nate, did you see that? The private investigator when I interviewed her on Gary's case. This private investigator Heather Cohen, she's like a badass, like for real. She's like when you talk to this chick and you see everything, it's just you picture the old Charlie's Angels. It just uh,
Oh,
Change.
nice.
yeah, she just uh, she's good looking. She's a tough chick. You can tell she's no nonsense. You know, it just like Carolyn was like, she's a badass. It's like, yeah, there's no other way of putting it. But yeah, it seemed like Elmer Fudd. My Elmer, how in the hell, Mark? Where did Elmer Fudd get a middle initial? Elmer J. Fudd. Where the fuck? I,
That's his middle initial. I remember that as a little kid.
I did not. I ain't never
Elmer,
heard that. Learn
yeah,
something new every day.
and Bobby J. King.
Yeah, Wile E. Coyote.
Coyote. Yeah, I remember the Wile E. Coyote. Yeah, that you'd think he would quit buying stuff from Acme.
She said, "Stop hiding your damn beard, Judy."
Worked for Masters. Yeah, yeah. Judy. Everybody talking shit on Judy. She was a sergeant in the max security male prison. Yeah, she. I don't think I.
Word.
Heather can get what she wants. Yeah. Yep.
Uh, we had
Oh,
to
you're
bring
good, Carolyn. Yeah, you're good. But yeah, Heather is a trip, man. She's it's kind of cool. I can't wait to go out there in Nashville and meet her in person. It's going to be a hoot. Um, hoping my nephew will get to go, but I don't know. Yeah, that's right. First Amendment. That's right. First Amendment, Carolyn. I'm all about the Constitution. So, but no,
that's
no sense apologizing for something guaranteed by the Constitution. But well, Nate, it's been wonderful. Thanks for joining me tonight on this. And
I'll come back anytime you want me to.
yeah, it's I really enjoyed. That's
Yeah, I did.
tell him
I did
I'll bring
too. I
you
did
next
too.
time we come. I'll bring you with me.
Yeah, Mark said next time he comes to visit you guys, I'll come. I told him I want to come with. I want to come with him and stuff. Come hang out with you guys. It'd be
I
great.
mean, I Carolyn, I agree. I'm sure if you want to come to Nashville with us in October, we've got a room and stuff up there. So she's got a whole house, but we're gonna be up there a couple days, and it'll be some business with Gary stuff and all that, some concert,
Oh, that
like
sounds great. That sounds great.
stuff, and
We can get a room.
Hey, hey, I love Jesus, but I drink a little.
Well, I, I, I don't. Well, I'm not a big drinker. I'll drink every once in a while, but my heavy drinking is 3 or 4 beers. That's a heavy night for me. And Eric always
And he
he
knows.
always laughs. He's like, I can't go drink a beer and get a buzz. And he's like, I wish I could. And I'm like, I said, yeah, like $2. I can get it, But
Wow.
that see, Carolyn said, Nate, I don't know if you see the.
She said, "Come on."
Come on, she's got you
October.
all covered.
What's the date next? What's the date in October?
October. Yeah, October 6th is going to be the concert. Probably like the 5th, 6th, and the 7th. She's got the house for. So uh, Jesus drank too. That's right. He turned water into wine. He turned water into wine. He said, the party's over. No, it's not. Here we go. I'm sorry, Lord.
Yeah,
But,
I just got one more final thing to say before we sign off. And the people who are so hell bent on racism and keeping it alive and keeping it brewing and keep talking about it, they see in black and white. People like us, we see in rainbows.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, I mean, because it's just crazy, Carolyn said 6th, 7th, and 8th. I think I have different dates. I need to, like I said, I need to get
Squirrel, squirrel.
yeah. Well, no, she had different. I think I had the 5th, 6th, and 7th, and she has a different. Man, I've been found a few. Yeah, I thought you had the house for the 5th, 6th, and the 7th, Carolyn.
I don't think that's off in Florida either.
I'll get with you on that. Though, 'cause I need to make sure because, well, I can't discuss
Right.
some of that, but there's stuff we need to take care of. But we were going to take care. I guess we could do it earlier in the day before the press conference. But
So we can get a whole room too.
okay, you're right. Okay, well, yeah, she got that reconciliation house, so we'll have plenty of room. But her son is getting a room. I think her daughter was getting a room too. But well, I mean, I her her son likes to smoke and some stuff that I'd like to smoke, but I mean, it just I can go outside. But yes, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Okay, yeah, but yeah, it'll be a good
Sounds like a
time.
blast. Sounds like a
I
blast.
I haven't been to Nashville. Probably
Nashville,
about
Nashville,
30 years.
Tennessee.
Yeah,
Tennessee. Oh,
yeah.
you know what? Last October, no, last February, I went down to Athens, Tennessee, to see a friend of mine. I was
Mhm.
there for a whole month. The whole month, I remember seeing 3 black people. Every white person I came across was so cool and so nice. I got suspicious for a minute. I'm like, what's everybody so nice for? That's just where everybody was down there.
Yeah.
It was so refreshing. It was very refreshing to see that.
Well, that's even. I mean, it just seems like the South in general. Um,
Oh,
People
that's
are overall friendlier. Um, Even Atlanta. Now Atlanta's almost the other way. You don't see a whole lot of white people, but they are the friendliest. I never heard Peckerwood or Cracker or nothing like ever in that area. Ever.
That cracks me up.
They they're just the nicest
too
people.
funny.
I never heard white boy or none of that. But and Carol, that's the way we are. And yeah, and that's man. The rest of the country needs to get on board with that part of it. That Southern hospitality, because there's too much hate. And well, and it's not even what's crazy. I think a lot of it's centered toward Midwest. I have a cousin who lives in Maine, Saco, Maine. He said there's no racism up there of any type. And he said I never until I went on a travel. He said he never saw racism,
I'll
and
tell you, in my area where I live at, around here, I've had people. I've met people from almost every country in the world. And at a bar, I hang out in Belleville for real. But I've had people tell me that they've never ever seen racism so bad as they have in this area right here. This area right here. And it's
that's
like
crazy.
all over the country, people say it. But every state has said that and stuff. It's wild. I lived there all my life. Whew.
Chicago's pretty bad too. Chicago can be very, you know,
Chicago should be its own state.
yeah, they should be their own country.
Exactly. Think of mortar on that sucker or something.
Even with us, oh yeah, you're speaking. You're talking about sweet tea. You're speaking my language. I drink Southern sweet tea. You know, cup of tea to a cup of sugar. You know, I drink that true Southern sweet tea. You got to chew it sometimes.
Tell you what, a woman's southern accent drives me crazy. I might get lost down there. You guys got to keep an eye on me because I go on adventures and stuff.
Well, old Nate will be running off with some old country girl. Hey, Mark, we'll have to get one of them toddler leashes to put on him so one of them can hold him back here.
Tie some beer cans onto it. You'll find me.
Yeah, Nate, come on. No. I didn't bring you the whole whacker stick.
Yeah, he lost it. He can't find it. He said, Nate, you got the whole whacker stick? I said, no, I don't have the whole whacker stick.
Yeah, he said Nate hit it.
I did not. Terrible. It's
Oh, yeah.
terrible.
Yeah, Carolyn, she's from Tennessee, and she said she never knew what racism was until now. It's crazy that what's insane. What's crazy to me, it's like where the most racism was experienced in history of our country's history, there is now less than what the free states, the so-called union states.
Yeah.
There's actually less racism, and that seems odd to me. Doesn't that seem backwards to you? It just
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
people, the union was these are the ones fighting for their rights and to be freed, but yet they seem to have the division and the racism where in the South, like I said, no matter what color, they're accepting and they're polite and not, it just we could learn a lot from.
Yeah, I think what it is that the people are coming together
Oh yeah,
as people, but the politicians keep it going to keep us separated and stuff. I believe that's how it is.
yeah. Carolyn said, "Wait till you meet Heather."
Uh oh. Uh oh.
That private investigator we was just talking about. She'll be there. The one I saw from Charlie. It looks like some Charlie's Angels.
She's not going to investigate me, is she?
No.
Well, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind.
Oh no, it's already begun.
Wow.
I'm married, very married.
Yeah.
Terrible.
You're terrible.
You guys are terrible.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Baby, you just ain't seen nothing yet.
JLM, you are absolutely correct. Statistically speaking, 70% of kids that are incarcerated, or whatever, get in trouble, don't have a father in the home. And also, those that grow up without a father in the home are 70% more likely to become incarcerated or something like that. 85% more likely to be on hard drugs, and it's crazy. But
Yeah, I was lucky. My father left when I was 4, but I had uncles. Believe me, I had uncles. I had uncles, and they
yeah,
they took care of
I
things
got
for
the
me.
weapons case
yeah, that's good. I mean that
out of here.
you got to have well, and that's the thing. I always tell people when I talk to people ask a question, whatever, their loved ones in prison, or the dad, or whatever, and it's like, well, make sure there's a positive. Yeah, I agree, JLM. Dang it, squirrel. Lost my train of thought again. But
Jimmy's got a fat squirrel.
what?
Amy's got a fat squirrel.
He ain't right.
Tell him that Amy feeds the squirrel that's fat.
Oh, I thought you were talking about something.
No, Amy's got a fat squirrel. No.
I did too. I was trying to figure out how the hell we got to that. I was like, okay.
It got beat up by the other squirrels. It's too bad to fight.
Too fat. Oh yeah, he's telling about that.
You're producing squirrels with beavers.
Yes, I was.
Well, you know, people have different slang and different. Of course, I don't know. These kids seem to invent a new word every day, and they,
Yeah, I gotta tell some of these kids speak English.
yeah, they take a meaning of something that is completely different than what it was. Like what? Yeah.
I had a kid call me an OG, and I told Nate, I said, "Is he disrespecting me?" I didn't even know what that was.
I had to explain to him.
I thought it was like old grandpa or something.
You're an old grandpa.
Well, he is a grandpa.
No, I thought.
Yeah, he is old too.
No, this kid goes, he goes, I know you. My dad talks about you. He goes, you're an OG. And I thought he was saying I was an old grandpa. And I asked Nate, he said, no, that's not what it means.
Man, that's sad. Carolyn said when she went to visit Gary Saturday, a 13-year-old come to see his dad. He told his dad he would have a cell beside him. It broke my heart. I told him to do well in school, get a good education,
That is sad.
and make enough money to bring his daddy home. Yeah, and you know it. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. That if someone don't have incarcerated, their male role model, their father figure, whatever is missing, or for whatever reason, people need to be sure that there is a positive male role model of some sort in that kid's life, or they're going to find someone, and it may not be good. You know, or you run into sometimes like the girls that like really seek that craving attention from guys and stuff because they didn't have it growing up, but they have the daddy issues and unhealthy. But
I can't understand the family unity these days because when I was growing up, my family, we all took care of each other. We all took care of each other all the time. Now, people, they haven't talked to their brothers or sisters in years, or that they hate their mother, they hate their father, and stuff like that. Or that don't go to the kids. It's like,
well,
it's out of control.
it's people have forgotten that you can disagree and still be friends, or disagree and still be family. Um, I know there's a friend of Eric's. Him and his dad don't talk, haven't talked in years over politics.
Over politics, wow.
Trump does not give two shits about you, neither does Biden. So why are you disrupting your family unit and not talking over politics? That's just dumb. But it's you. When does I've never understood why you can have a disagreement. Not everything everybody wants to. Well, I'm not going to argue. There's a difference between an argument and a disagreement, and you can. Arnold Palmer lemonade tea with a crap ton of ice. Yeah, that's not bad. The lemonade and tea is not bad. That Mike's Hard lemonade's pretty good too.
Uh-oh, Nate.
What?
The nerve there. I love the Mike's Harder lemonade. like the strawberries and the black cherries. Ooh.
Well, I haven't tried that. I tell you what, I like that. That twisted tea's not too bad either.
Shane had Crown Royal mix something at
Oh,
the
Yeah,
poker
in the
game.
can. Yeah.
I like Crown. That apple Crown is my favorite. Other than that, I love that apple Crown. I can just sip that with put on some ice and just
That's the way I do it on the rocks, just
Yeah,
straight.
yep,
yeah, very
But I
smooth, very
haven't had.
smooth.
I don't drink anymore. I haven't got to try that apple Crown.
it's good.
Amy likes Fireball with rum chata.
Good
Um,
night, Carolyn.
Yeah, if you put vanilla vodka in it too, it tastes like cinnamon toast crunch.
What?
she likes Fireball with rum chata and vanilla vodka.
Oh,
Fireball, rum chata, and vanilla vodka.
oh my God! You got to send me that, Mark, because I'm gonna try. I love cinnamon toast crunch. Now that might be dangerous.
It's mostly Fireball, and then you put some rum chata in there, about half and half with the Fireball.
You know, something I've noticed
And
when
then
people sit down and get
shot
drunk
of
together, they don't talk
vodka.
about racism. Everybody gets too drunk to talk about it.
And you know um what's crazy? It's like
Oh, vanilla vodka.
man, it was something I watched the other day. I don't remember what it was, but somebody talking about racism. And this black guy was like, you know, talking about racism. The first person when I went to prison that gave me a soup was an Aryan Brotherhood dude, and gave me my first soup in prison. You know, it was a black dude. I was, you know, and it like,
Heroin.
and there's sometimes they're not really don't have them beliefs. They just join up, click up, you know, to and
From a guy from Nigeria.
I'm not even sure what rum chata is.
It's like a it's like it looks like milk. Was it vanilla or
Tell him
something
I'll
like
show
that?
him the bottle.
Oh yeah, he's gonna show you the bottle.
Pat search. Well, I don't need to be searched, Judy. Why are we doing pat searches?
See?
Huh? I'll have to check that out.
There it is. Woohoo.
Looks expensive.
It's about $80 for a fifth. Or
Oh,
$80 for a fifth of a Fireball, a fifth of rum chata, and then vanilla vodka.
That's $30 right there.
That's $30 for that bottle.
you know how much long a fifth of anything would last me? Oh yeah, JLN. Yeah, that's sober bar. Yeah, the problem is putting up with all them darn drunk people. That's I
That's the
couldn't do it.
Fireball.
Yeah, I love Fireball. That's one of I. That's
Ignite the night.
uh,
Ignite the night.
I love Fireball, man.
Just mix that like half, a little more rum chata than the Fireball, and put a shot of vanilla vodka in it, and that's it.
You can even put
Yeah,
how,
that was like
like a margarita.
how do we go from racism to alcohols?
I don't know. And leave it to Mark.
Tell them about the
We got
trash
Mark's involved. That's how.
about the trash can parties.
I'm surprised we're not with Mark involved. I'm surprised we're not talking about the traffic in L.A.
Hey, have you ever had a trash can party?
No.
You buy a brand new plastic trash can, and everybody brings a fifth, and you dump it in the trash can, the fifth, and just mix everything.
fruit, fucking flavored vodkas and stuff, like sodas and stuff. Oh man,
Yeah.
talk about being cuckoo.
We used to hit the distributor too, Budweiser distributor. If you go there in the autumn, the cooler months, that dumpster be halfway full with beer, but it'd be like a Denick can, misprint, and I mean like half full. We'd take a trash can, go under the fence, fill that trash can up, and we'd throw the beer in the back of the trunk with ice, and we'd head to the back roads.
We were criminals.
Well, it was a good deal until too many people found out about
Yeah.
it. Free beer.
That's I started to get. I guess I noticed getting old. Me and Buddy took my nephew and his kid down there to the playground, and there was a big twisted tea of the empty No, it was a Mike's. No, it was a Twisted Tea can. But anyway, the empty can sitting by the playground equipment, and I'm like, "Damn, Bill, drink." I'm like, "Oh shit, probably kids." I was one of them kids drinking at the park when I was there, probably leaving my damn. I don't know. I probably threw mine away because I was always taught not to litter.
We don't talk about Big Bear. Mark was asking if you ever had that one malt liquor called Big Bear.
Big Bear, I'm not.
Oh. It was a 40-ounce bottle. It cost 99 cents. We'd buy it by the case. You get a whole case of it for like, what was it, like $11.99 with tax? Oh my god, this stuff was so
40
strong.
for 99 cents.
99 cents.
And it's malt liquor.
And it's malt liquor, and it tasted nasty.
But we drank it.
Yeah, because we were poor folk. We were po folk.
What was that? It's like tornado or hurricane or something. It's a 40.
Yeah, Budweiser Hurricane. Budweiser Hurricane.
Yeah, that's some strong stuff.
That's
That
nasty.
it is.
But it's strong though. It's strong. It does the job.
Back in the day, though, the only thing was getting was Colt 45 when I was a kid. That was
Or the King Cobra.
the King Cobra. Yeah, of course. Back when we was a kid, Nate Dogg was actually something. Now it's, it's just a wine.
We had a Mad Dog incident too in our clique. Oh my god.
Yeah,
I couldn't get past the third bottle. I'd always pass out before I ended the third bottle.
The next day was
It felt like I got hit by a hurricane.
that was Mad Dog. Oh my gosh, that is like one of the worst hangovers. Oh, and that and well, what's that with Everclear? Now it used
Purple Passion.
Purple Passion. That used to be strong as crap. Now it's on like 11% or something like a wine cooler. It used to be you drink some Purple Passion, that's over with. But
Yeah,
now,
you should come with the 2-liter bottle.
Yep.
2-liter bottle. Oh my lord.
yeah, and it still does. But now you can just down one of them 2-liter bottles. Not
It's no fun no more.
if you down one of them 2 liters back then, you weren't walking.
Oh my god, there was no passion involved with that.
Well,
Too often. How could you tell it's gone warm to cold too often?
I was telling when you said the beer was stale. When we went down to see Bootsy, and
it was
stale beer because it goes warm to cold.
Yeah.
I
hate skunky beer. It pisses me off.
Yeah.
It's because he's a beer connoisseur. He can taste it and tell if it's been heated up and then cooled and a bunch of times. And me, a beer's a beer. I drink it. He knows if it's stale.
I got a gift.
Yeah,
I know stuff and I drink beer. That's what I do.
I'm not a big. I mean, I'll drink beer once in a while. I'm not a huge beer fan though. I like Coors Light or something. I'm gonna drink beer. I can't like the strong beers and all that. There's there's a beer with my namesake on it. It's called LaBelle.
Really? I know that beer.
It's horrible. It's horrible. That stuff is disgusting. I stole some. My grandma had some up on the shelf because it was and I stole a bottle and drank it.
See,
that was my first ass. It tasted bad, and I got my ass whooped. Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, that's oh no. Did he say something about red beer?
No, red, white, and blue.
Oh.
That beer?
Oh yeah, I haven't tried that. I don't do the red beers either. I'm not a.
No, it was a domestic beer. It was like one of the real cheap beers. Like Black Label.
Oh
Black
yeah.
Label, red, white, and blue, and was Milwaukee's Best.
You know what's funny? I was just getting ready to bring up Milwaukee's Best. You know what you can't buy? You know what you can't find in Milwaukee?
What? Milwaukee's Best?
That's
I like Milwaukee.
My Uncle Tony moved from Racine, Wisconsin down to Wichita, and he was a big beer drinker, and was like, he said, Milwaukee's best. He said, I live 30 minutes from Milwaukee. I ain't never heard of this shit.
I don't think it's made in Milwaukee, actually.
No, I think it's actually made in St. Louis. I think it's an Anheuser-Busch product.
I
But
don't remember. I don't remember.
yeah.
I drank so much of it.
Oh, Night Train. That stuff was horrible too.
Was that Mark again? The Night Train.
Yeah, well, it started out with Mark. I think Mark said something about it, and then JLM talking about Axl Rose, and yeah, Mark started.
Now you got me scrolling.
Yeah, that's what I was doing too. Yeah, so they got that. There's a lot, man. I'm gonna have to come out to St. Louis. I'm a uh, I like horror, like haunted places and stuff like that. And so there's a lot. Like there's supposed like the most haunted place in America, they say, is in St. Louis. And
Oh, this is a beer drinking area. We drink some beers around here.
yeah, well, that's another place I haven't been since I was a kid. I was probably about 10 or 12, and when I went up in the arch, and I don't think I'll ever do that again. But I'm not big on heights, and you can feel that damn thing moving. And
I went up there. I was in like fourth or fifth grade, and at that time I was afraid of heights. And I went up. Oh my god, it does move. You can feel
yeah,
it move.
yeah.
It's not fun. It's
No,
not fun. But once I relaxed and so and seen the view, it was incredible.
well, and I don't care how you can explain the physics of it all damn day to me, and I'm not going to care. It don't help none. Oh, it has to sway or it'll break. I don't give a shit. It's swaying that might break in my mind. That's when stuff starts rocking and teetering, especially metal. You have to fire and do this with it every so often. That's like it breaks.
And that thing
I'm a,
it survived tornadoes. That thing
have
survived.
have you ever been to the Sears Tower?
Oh no, I've never been to New York.
No, it's Chicago. The
Well,
Sears
yeah,
Tower, Chicago. But
I've been drinking a lot.
actually, if you ever go to Chicago, go to the Sears Tower. It's really cool. There's actually, you go up and there's a pendulum, and it's got a 6 foot sway to it, and you can, because
Oh
you don't
no,
feel as
no,
much in
oh
that big
no.
building, but when you see that pendulum moving, you feel it, and it's crazy. You don't realize how much them really high buildings move.
Yeah,
And
I've never been in a high rise building before. I mean, nothing. I think there's nothing over 20 stories.
oh yeah. See, I was in the tower. I've been up on the observation decks of the towers years ago, and I've been to the um, Empire State Building and the Sears Tower, and I don't like heights.
Yeah, you
well,
know what? I
well,
was
it's,
afraid of heights.
last time I was in New York City, it was before the renovation, and you could still go up in the torch. That's been a while. I don't think you can go past the crown now. But
It was like when I was growing up, I was afraid of heights, and my very first scary job, I was a tree trimmer. I'm like, I'm like 8 stories up in a tree with a chainsaw in my hand, and said, "Well,
mhm.
cut that," and then after that, I became a roofer. I was a roofer for 22 years and stuff. Yeah, afraid of heights, not anymore, but I still
roofer
was.
roofing does not work for me.
Oh,
Gravity likes
22
me too
years.
much. My fat ass always comes back to the ground. I don't bounce like I used to.
No, I fell off the roof one time. I landed right on my feet. I was lucky. That's the only time I ever fell off the roof.
I tell you what, if I wasn't back in my really bad, well, it was in '04 right before I went to prison. I was so bad on the dope and stuff. I was painting one of my uncle's homes in Derby, and he's got a 3-story home, and on the third story, he's just got the alcove that comes out with the window, and so I was up there painting as a 12-12 roof, and I didn't have no footboards. I was just resting, trying to balance and hold on and keep my foot on the edge of the ladder, and I had been up for probably 3 or 4 weeks, and
Wow,
it
wow.
just
You
didn't
should
work
not have been
out.
up there. You should not have been up there at all.
Ever, no,
Very dangerous.
absolutely not. And I went down that ladder, all 3 stories, bounced down that ladder on my back right into the driveway,
Wow.
and somehow got up, pissed off, cleaned
Bet you were.
cleaned the paint up that I spilt in the driveway, got the hose out and rinsed it down, latex paint, thankfully. Um, Cleaned it up, put the ladder and stuff up, and drove home. And
I'm done.
well, and I was tweaking so bad, I was so weirded out. So I took some. I called a friend and, hey, can you pick up the kids? I'm going to take some Xanaxes. And I
That'll help.
well, I took a Xanax and I went to sleep, but I woke up about an hour later. I couldn't move from my waist down.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was in the basement. My mom worked a mile down the road, but my house is locked. She was at work, but she's got keys. I'm like, I don't want to call an ambulance. I'm gonna kick my damn door in. So I ended up calling my mom. I pushed myself off of the couch. I just laid down on the couch in the family room, and watching TV, and pushed myself. Didn't have these sitting beside you everywhere back then, and um, called over to the phone, got the phone, and called her, and had her come home. But my spine had swelled up and it paralyzed me, and me and my dumb, I hate doctors and I hate hospitals. Ambulance come and took me out. I didn't know if I'd ever walk again. They got the shots and stuff in my spine, got the swelling down. I was able to move. I checked. I walked. I checked out the hospital today. I'm going home.
I've
No,
been
you
there,
can't.
I've been there 1,000 times. I walked out of the
Yeah,
hospital. I'm leaving. You suck.
yeah. It's like this heart surgery. They won't. I can't get a surgeon to do the valve replacement because I'm not staying in the hospital. When I wake up, I'm walking out. That's how that's going. That's just with or without your permission. I'm leaving as soon as I wake up, and I'm not staying one night in the hospital.
Yeah, I've got treated so bad in some of these hospitals. I mean, Mark has come and bailed and woke me out of the hospital. Him, and some of my buddies, they woke me out of the hospital probably about 5 times in the past 6 years. Then
Man, well,
they come stormtrooping too.
hospitals are a whole nother story too. We had a real bad hospital experience last year with mom, about this time actually, almost exactly a year ago. Mom's since passed in December. We lost her to cancer, but she was in bad health, and we took her to the hospital here in Iola, and she is her mental faculties weren't there. She wasn't with it, and couldn't stay awake. But they decided to admit her. The doctor came in. Long story short, they wanted to go over the DNR instructions again, and they asked if something happens. She wanted her. Yes, she does. And the doctor said, "Is that what she wants, or is that what you guys want?" It's like, because if she's dying anyway, it's pretty much a waste of resources.
Yeah, in their eyes, it is.
Nate, if that doctor would have been in that room and not over that damn television on that wall, I think me and Eric would have went to jail. There ain't no thinking about it. We would have went to jail that night. But they would not produce that doctor that was on that TV screen because we really wanted to talk to him in person.
Yeah.
Um, that,
Let's talk a minute.
yeah,
Uh-uh.
yeah. Let's go chat out in the parking lot away from the cameras.
What,
But
you know about the medical algorithm, don't you know?
what do you mean?
It's like a social profiling. They categorize you by your social status and by your race and by how much money you make and shit and what your ethnicity is. And you get treated accordingly. And I've been a victim of that so many times, and it's bad. It's
I'll tell
bad.
you, I just recently stumbled onto something. You can't get help from some places if you don't have enough income.
Oh yeah, yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
I didn't make enough money, so I can't get help with my prescriptions.
That's part of that's part of the medical
I
algorithm out there.
but I'm gonna
You
say
got
it's
profiles.
it's like, what sense is it? I did not make. It's like,
Was like, I should have bought that Kit Kat.
Man, yeah. It's like, should have drank a second gate or something. I don't know, but well, it's Nate. It's been good. It's been fun, bro. I need to get off here, go to the bathroom. My dog thinks she needs to go to the bathroom.
I'm
But,
hungry too. I gotta eat.
yeah,
Yeah,
and I've got to get with the guy here. I got an interview coming up. Well, I'm going to interview him, and he's going to interview me. The guy from A&E show, and a true crime guy. So, but kind of a neat deal. Ask Nate what he did with Uncle's Three Musketeers.
oh,
That's
don't even go there, Mark. I'm not saying it.
that's my
We'll save that for the next show.
that's. Oh, Judy, you should have went. You should go all the way up there sometime. Not, it's scary. As we did the Uncle's Three. Oh, he put it again.
Yeah, he won't quit. Oh
I don't
man,
know, man. I like Three Musketeers. That's one of my favorite candy bars.
I'll tell you the story next time we talk and stuff. It's pretty funny.
For sure. Well, everybody that's watched through this whole thing, I appreciate you guys. Um,
This
always,
was a lot of fun. This was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
yeah, and we'll definitely have to do it again sometime. I don't have to be all right. We can get on and talk whatever.
I want to come down there and visit you guys, man. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Oh man, that'd be awesome, man. Me and Eric have talked about that a couple times. That hell, Mark and Amy, Mark and Amy, man, coming up, we it maybe some floor space or some or couch or whatever. But
Now,
well,
I
I
go
don't,
on
I
unsupervised.
don't know.
I go on unsupervised. I go on unsupervised adventures. So you gotta watch me.
Well, you're not going to get far around here. It's we're a town of 106 people, and there ain't. You're going 30 miles before you see anything.
Uh-oh. Okay, I'm good.
Yeah, you're talking. You're talking. It's a 20-minute trip to go to the gas station to get a soda pop.
Well, yeah,
So,
I've been in towns like that before. It's like way out there. You better stock up on beer before
and
you come back into town.
yeah, so we don't have any liquor stores, but the bar gives me good deals.
Oh, that's all.
I
That's
can
all I
actually,
need. Okay.
I can actually go buy beer from the bar cheaper than what I can go buy at a liquor store.
Well, you got the connections, and it's all about who you know.
Yeah, well, and it's she's Vicky's pretty good people too. But you got to come out here. You'll definitely have to eat over here at Crickets. They have some of the best food, and it's
Oh,
fuck. You can walk out with a cheeseburger, fries, and a drink, the whole meal, good sized filling meal, 8.25. You can't do that at McDonald's.
I'm on my way.
And we don't even need to get on Taco Tuesday. Oh man.
Oh man, Taco Tuesday.
Oh, they got a nacho supreme. It's huge. You know the big white styrofoam
Oh
clamshells.
yeah. Oh
Thing
yeah.
full loaded with nachos and meat and veggies and salsa and cheese, and it's like $7. It's just amazing.
Suck
Yeah,
a bottle of alcohol.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I can literally, if I had the money, I could go eat at the bar cheaper than I
Well,
can making food for myself. You know, at home. You know, because just I can cook.
even going to McDonald's is cheaper.
No, McDonald's ain't much cheaper. That's well, for one, McDonald's is first of all 30 minutes away,
That's good. That's good.
and then there's another $13. And poor Nashville. I know, Mark. Right? We're just gonna have to get out of Nashville without going to jail.
We'll leave and they'll say thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, they'll pay our way out.
We had the cops circling us when I went down to meet up with them. Yes.
Carolyn will be changing her mind. Like, what the hell was I thinking?
Who are those guys?
Yeah. Now, Nate, I know you don't know me very well, but I always, well, it both sides. I good and bad. I am that. Yep, I'm educated. I'm a pastor, but I am still Kevin. I am. Don't try to be perfect. I don't never put myself up on a pedestal. Um, and I am me. I am very raw. I am very rough around the edges. But you know what? I reach a lot of people that a lot of them stuck up, good for everybody preachers are not going to reach.
Exactly.
When I was a case manager I was case manager at a Christian um, homeless shelter there in Wichita, and I still would walk around cussing and all that. And I was I was on the chaplain staff.
Hey,
But
you
that's one
can't.
thing some people, admonish me for, some of the old conservative Christians, but and then some of the people tell them, look, hey, that's what I respect. He's still him. He's not trying to be,
You gotta
you
keep it
know,
real. Keep it
yeah,
real.
yeah, I'm me. Yeah, what you see is what you get, whether it's out there or behind the clothes. It's the same. I'm the same person. I don't believe on putting that act on, and you can be saved without having to be a fuddy duddy and all serious and all that. But
Yeah, it's like I purchased this subscription to adulthood. I'd like to cancel my order. Who can I talk to, please?
I've been looking for the last couple of weeks for a teenager to trade spots with. Any kid that wants to says they're tired of being a kid, they want to become an
Oh,
adult. Well, I'm tired of being an adult and want to be
yeah.
back a
Come on,
kid.
come on. I got something for you. I got something
Damn
for you.
right. You give me your allowance, you can have my bills. Uh, you know,
What about that cute girlfriend you got too?
keep that one. I,
Where's
I,
that one
Oh,
now?
there he goes. There he goes. All right, I'm starving. I gotta sign off.
yeah, yeah.
My belly's rumbling and stuff,
I'm,
man.
I'm about to explode the. Oh yeah, needle in the spine. That's a spinal taps are horrible. But all right,
Yeah.
Nate, you have a great one. Everybody, y'all have a good one. The Rev Dr Kev
Goodbye, everybody. It was nice talking to everybody.
and Nate, y'all have a good one.
I
And
sure will.
I know we're just gonna do it because y'all want to do it.
Anytime, anytime. All right. Peace out.
Guys, later.
Later.
Lights out.